I'm up. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, so I just noticed that, so I do apologize. We are back. With that, let's get into the Lions. Whose game is this versus the Ravens? Is this AG, Dan Campbell, or Ben Johnson? Because look, I think this is going to be a shootout. And if it is that way, then I'm leading Ben Johnson. But for me, if it's not a shootout, which I do think it's going to be, I'm going to look at AG this game. Look, you have the number one rushing defense. You do have this you have the fourth passing defense. So I'm going to be looking at AG this game. Look, I do think this defense is going to be tested. When this team does take on a running QB, things get a little off kilter. So, yeah, for me, it's going to be AG this game. TJ, on the other hand, TJ is on the other side of this to where he's looking at Ben Johnson. Can we get close enough in the final minute to hit a game-winning field goal? Whether it be 40, 45 yards. So I want to know where you're at with that. And then I do want to argue against this narrative for Michigan. Because quite frankly, I just can't help myself with this. The fact of the matter is that let's be honest here for a minute. Okay? And I heard this on one of the shows, and in specifically, I could not believe what I was hearing, and so this is where I say checkmate, because I want to know in specifically, when did anyone say that the evidence was going to get dropped off on Friday? Find me the report. Find me anyone that said that. Because I certainly didn't hear anybody say that. And what I love about that, in specifically, is that the way that you're saying it tells me all I need to know. It tells me all I need to know, and specifically because of the fact of that, very, very simply, This is the direct quote. To my knowledge, the evidence has not been dropped off yet. That was at 11:20 yesterday. Okay. Good. So, find me the report. Find me the person who said that the evidence is getting dropped off on Friday. And the fact of the matter, the fact of the matter is that when you say stuff like that, that's when you begin to lose credibility with me. And specifically because of the fact of that, all you're telling me is that, oh, well, I've talked to people. They said it was Friday. Okay, who was it then? Don't sit here and say you have people and you've talked to people when you haven't. Because nobody, to my knowledge, specifically said Friday's the day we're dropping off the information. And I'd really love to know who said it, because if somebody did say that, then okay, we've got a bigger problem here. But the fact of the matter is that that's not the case. Because even if it was, that comment would have leaked out, is the whole thing. So I don't care how confident you are to defend yourself. The facts are, the guy got suspended with pay. Okay, cool. Hey, you're at the center of this, go take a vacation. Okay, great. Then what? Oh, hey, I know. Now we're going to start questioning. Oh, we're going to start looking at when they said the evidence was going to be dropped off. If that comment of that Friday is the day, in specifically Friday, 10/20 of 2023, was the day that was specifically noted and put into the airwaves that the evidence was going to be dropped off. Guys, we live in a day and age where every single thing leaks out. So I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. If you are going to give me this light show, I am openly telling you, you are not welcome here. We are not going to do this light show of it's everybody else's fault, Michigan's always right, you let it play out, boo-hoo, no, that's not how this works. And the fact of the matter is that I love the people who still tell me there is nothing to see here when the guy was suspended and his picture leaked out. And then I couldn't wait to get to this, because let me just go ahead and tell you, I will never trade my integrity for access. And that's really where this begins and ends. This is probably the latest in the most ass opinion I have ever heard in my life. And here's why I say that. Because it is not only so on brand. But very, very simply, it is also the fact of that when you have this opinion out of any other weeks in the year, this weekend specifically, it tells me all I need to know about you, and it tells me very, very simply that you have no integrity, and on top of that, you are so lazy that you can't even formulate a well thought out opinion because you would rather blame somebody else. And that comes from one of the guys that I've started to like lately. I don't anymore. But the fact of the matter is that it is Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen, a national host, went on the air and blamed MSU for this. Last I checked at 1:42 in the afternoon, no, they have not played the game. Unless if I'm missing something, maybe I missed where they played the Michigan State game. It must have been in somebody's backyard, or maybe at a school. I don't know. I haven't seen any highlights from the game. Has anybody else? The fact of the matter is that to have that opinion and then to go on the air and have that opinion might just take the cake for being the laziest host quite frankly in the world, if you ask me. Like, this is a job where you don't get to be lazy. Because if you want to be in specifically one of the best, then let me tell you something. Then no, this is a job where, no, you don't get to be lazy. You don't get to have these days to where you come on the air with that opinion and blame a school where not only is it not their fault, but B, they've had zero to do with this, and then C, having the lazy opinion of that it's MSU's fault. Do me a favor and go find a new job. If you want to be lazy at your job, go find a new job. This idea that you are going to get on the air and in specifically go and blame a school you have not played yet, and which, by the way, you won't play until 7:30 this evening, is by far and away the laziest opinion I have ever heard in my life. You do not get to be lazy in this job, because you know what happens? Then your viewer base, the people who quote unquote so-called respect you, they lose any sense of credibility that you have. Period. Alright, We got a lot of things in the hopper. Let's finish up this row. We'll get a save and we'll hop right back into the Lions. It is to the people. I am letting you guys guide the ship here. So, with that said, on the other side, I want to talk about something to do with the Lions and regarding this week. All right, let's get a save. Alrighty, we are back. I have no idea what the hell that was, but that was kind of cool. Okay, so let's talk about this because I know how this is going to be on Monday, especially if the Lions take a scheduled loss on Sunday versus the Ravens. So here's the deal. To me, it changes nothing. You are still on pace to make the playoffs. You're still on pace to have a home playoff game. So that's really where I'm at. The fact of the matter is that this is the NFL. I said it in the last stream. You are going to lose at some point. But however, it does not change the season. It does not change, specifically, it does not change really anything. But if you win this game on Sunday, then I'll tell you right here, right now, it's on. It's on, and I'm coming on here Monday, and I'm asking you, the people, legitimately, how far are you willing to dream? Because you as Lions fans, this season, have every single chance to dream. Alright, so I want to know who you're more confident in. As we sit going into week 7, I want to know who you're more confident in. Is it the Lions or is it Michigan? For me, it's pretty simple. It's the Lions. That has the juice. It has, as I said, it's been a hell of a ride. So let's go ahead and let's have a conversation about it. Because I think you can make the case for either team. I think you can make the case for Michigan. But I think you can also make the case for the Lions. Okay. We're also, well, actually, let's go ahead. Let's get a college football score update here in the mix as well. Number 7, Penn State against number 3, Ohio State. Ohio State is on top, 10-6. Air Force is up 7-0 on Navy. UCF and Oklahoma are tied 17-17 at the half. Those are your noon games. And while we're at it, let's also get to the most we're going to call it the most peachy comment of the week. Okay? The most peachy comment of the week. And I don't mean that in a nice way either. What I mean is, that would be asinine. Quote, besides Aiden Hutchinson, you don't have a star. Really? You don't have a star, huh? Okay. Well, that's great. Because the fact of the matter is that actually you do. You have a star. Now, this one is going to be controversial because I know he's really just the unsung hero. Josh Reynolds is a star. Amon-Ra is a star. And Penei Sewell is a star. In fact, your O-line is a star. We'll go ahead and we'll close that conversation. If you want to talk about it, you're more than welcome to. Along with that, there is one thing that I do want to see this Sunday versus Baltimore. And I just, to me, I don't know how many people value it. Shout out Jim Costa. But here's the deal. There is one thing that I want to see from, in particularly, Jared Goff against the Ravens. Quite frankly, I'd like to see it the rest of the season, but let's do this 1 week at a time. I go back to the Tampa game, and I look at the passes that he made. Guys, he made some big throws, not just in the game, but into some super tight windows. And look, Jared is playing some of his very, very best ball of his career. That's what I know some people are going to say, well, why do you want to see that? But I would like to see that this weekend. And I just want to know if you guys are on board or not on that one. That is one thing I would like to see. Also, I have by the numbers of Jared Goff for you. Jared Goff, this is right now this season. He is 5th in passing yards, tied for 4th in completion percentage at around 68-69%. 4th in TDs responsible for. 3rd in yards per attempt. 3rd in QB rating. And 1st in 20-yard plus passes. 1st, 3rd, 3rd, 4th, 4th, 5th. At the start of the season, I was really looking at maybe this guy is going to be about a $40 million a year quarterback. Guys, I've already said it. With each time that this team wins, the price goes up. I think you're looking at $45 million a year for Jared Goff. And I have not heard much on a contract yet. And as I said, I hate the idea of the in-season contract. I really do. But I'll be quite honest with you. I do think the bye week, it's going to get done. And again, that's just my opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's talk about this real quick, because this is where this is going to get interesting. Let's go ahead and let's establish a baseline for JG16. And again, I want to be very, very clear. This is just my opinion. This is not fact. This is not reported, any of that. But I think you're looking, my baseline, well, first of all, let me ask it this way. What would your baseline be? I think it's 4 years, and I think it's about 180. I think it's a bigger contract than Daniel Jones. Now, again, that does also mean, in specifically, yeah, this deal of we still have to reach the goal set for this season. Oh yeah, that's still in play, no doubt. But for me, personally, yeah, excuse me, I think you're looking at 4 years, probably 180 million. As I said, you've already found your franchise QB. And I don't even want to get into the other people, but I'll tell you this right here, right now. When it comes time for Aiden Hutchinson, when it comes time for Penei Sewell, when it comes time for Amon Ra, I'm going to be the guy sitting here telling you, pay him. And specifically Amon Ra and Penei Sewell. You're seeing the proof in the pudding, per se, as far as what these guys mean to this team. And so let's also talk about this as far as the what it would mean column, right? So let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about the fact of that, what it would mean in specifically, what it would mean for a win this Sunday. Guys, there was nobody talking about 7-1 heading into the bye week. Let alone, let's just say you go ahead, you lose this game, but you beat the Raiders. Guys, you're still on pace. That's the whole point. So when I talk about this win would mean a ton, not only to the city, but to this team and this fan base and all of those variables put together, guys, nobody was sitting here saying 7-2 at the bye, 7-1 at the bye. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was saying that. Now, you had people who were saying 13-4, 12-5, this, that, the other. But I don't think anybody was sitting here saying 7-2 at the bye? Or not 7-2 at the bye, 7-1 at the bye? Sheesh! Or at least heading into that Charger game? I mean, that's why I say the ride has been so freaking worth it. Before I get into this Caleb Williams report, let's go ahead and let's get this out of the way, because I've been wanting to do this for quite some time here. I have been wanting to talk about Darren, and again, as it says in the description, probably not the right time, especially because it is a big football weekend. But let's go ahead and let's let's go ahead and let's get into that, because as I said, I've been wanting to talk about it for some time now. And look, it's very simple. And it needs to be talked about. What would be my entire point here? So, you come to find out the information, right? You come to find out of what truly happened that night. In regards to Darren and really taking his life and what happened. Here's the deal. When you come to find out this information, it tends to hit you a little bit differently. Specifically, being someone who has been in that situation of abuse. And then you find out the particulars of what actually went down. Here's the deal. Whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it is somebody that you know, that you believe you can trust, at the end of the day, you absolutely have to at least have one person in your life that you know you can trust. And the reason why I say that is because when you hold in what happened, and you get to a point of where you just don't open up, that is a very scary, a very dangerous place to be. Because of the fact of that, just by opening up to that specific person that you trust, truly could save a life. And the fact of the matter is that, yes, I do believe that night, I do believe Darren could have been saved. But again, that's my own opinion, and I will hold on to that because of me being one of Darren's best friends. But the fact of the matter is that, look, whether it is emotional, physical, mental, whatever kind of abuse you want to say, and this goes for both genders, whether you are male or female, there is no side to it, period. Everybody needs that one person that they can trust. Luckily, I have that, in somebody that I know I can confide in when I do need it. But at that same time, it is also the fact of that some of us take longer to open up than others. And that's really where this goes. And in specifically, this is something that, for me, you have to, like, even if it's just a therapist, and that's the reason I brought up the comment of, luckily I have that person, because it is my therapist. The fact of the matter is that holding on to that is only hurting you. It's not hurting them, because, as I said earlier, people are like a-holes. Everybody's got one. But the fact of the matter is that, and specifically, it comes with the fact of that you have to understand you are the only one who is hurting. And as somebody who is speaking from experience on this, I don't want you to hurt anyone. I don't. And you can make fun of that. You can do whatever you please with it. But the fact of the matter is that the people in your life, specifically the people who you fall back on, and this can be friends, family, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whoever. Those people in specifically are the ones who are going to pick you up. Those are the people who are going to confide. You can confide in when needed. And the fact of the matter is that if those people truly love you the way that they say they do, they're not going to judge you. They are going to listen to you. They are going to, in specifically, be there for you, and they are going to give you the best advice and best help that they can, in order to specifically make sure that you are better. And I know, as much as this hurts me to say, I know Darren felt like he didn't have that. And that was even after many, many times that I specifically told Darren, if you need me, I don't care what time it is. Text me, call me, whatever you gotta do. The fact of the matter is that, look, you need people in your life that are going to be there for you. And when you find those people, or when you find that person in specifically that, yet again, yes, can be a therapist, that's when you realize how blessed you truly can be. Because the fact of the matter is that if you woke up today, if you're breathing, you're walking, you're talking, whatever it may be, those small things that we that we as humans tend to discredit at times in our life, truly have a big impact in the sense of that how blessed we truly are. And the thing is that you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but it's not the end of the world. Just because you have one bad chapter does not mean specifically that it's over. It does not mean that. And I think at those times in our lives where we have to fight certain things as far as our demons, depression, anxiety, etc., I think that tends to get lost. So, look, in essence, when you focus on the bad, the bad tends to hurt. When you focus on the good, the good tends to make you happy. And as hard as it is on most days, you have to get up every single day and you have to count the positives. Now, it doesn't have to be in the morning, it doesn't have to be midday, it can be in the evening. But when you start to put those days together, you start to realize that is in the past and this is the now. And when you focus on the now, you begin to see the doors opening up. You begin to see the opportunities that are arising. You tend to see what comes out of that. And what comes out of that is the blessings that mean just a little bit more. For me, it's very, very simple. It is the fact of that I have this roof over my head. I have my dog, which obviously, that is a big worry for me because of the things that my pup goes through. But the fact of the matter is that every day he's still him to an extent, and that makes you happy. But then I get into what I just talked about. I'm breathing, I'm talking, I'm able to walk. The fact of the matter is that, look, this all could have changed with my brain injury. This could have changed specifically because of whether it's being unable to talk, being unable to breathe, walk, talk, breathe, etc. Those things would truly be very hard to deal with. And that's not just for me, that's for people, the people around me. And so, look, I understand it. Stress is a very, very hard battle, and specifically, especially when you have anxiety and you have depression and you need medication for it. That's a very hard battle, and I truly understand that. But the fact of the matter is that just because you have those things, no, it does not mean that you can't start a new page in this book of what we call our lives. It does not mean, and specifically, Not just because you have one bad chapter that your story is over. Um, it means, in specifically, there are ways to get around this, and there are ways to beat it. I mean, the fact of the matter is that this is something I haven't even talked about, but I spent 6 years fighting without medicine, and that was after an abusive relationship. That was after really a point in my life where I didn't know if I was going to make it out. I didn't know if everything was going to be okay. And then when I found my therapist and I realized what this person was telling me, and specifically, and that includes a lot of other people, family, friends, etc., who have begged me to get on medicine, is the fact of the matter is that they were right. And just because you are getting on medicine, it does not mean that your story is over. It does not mean that you are giving up on yourself. It does not mean that you are this person that the darkness wants you to believe that you are. And look, out of the 6 years, I can tell you in specifically that yes, it is a very, very hard battle to go through. It is a pain to deal with, and specifically because you can be on cloud nine to start the day, and then one thought or one thing that happens tends to drag you back into that hole. And that is something that, in specifically, if you're out there and you're listening to this, you can find a way around it. You can. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be a battle. It is going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done in your life. But when you truly sit down and you truly start to think about the people around you, and this could even go down to just one person in specifically, whether it is a family member, a significant other, a child, a pet, whatever it may be, the fact of the matter is that those people believe in you as well. And I know it's tough when you're in the dark and you're in that hole, and it's telling you that it's that those people just want to see you down. But the fact of the matter is that that's not the case. And about the best thing I could tell you is that when you are in the dark and you have to fight off those lies, it is very tough. But it is in that moment you realize how strong you really are. And it is in that moment you realize that, no, my story is not over until I win. And especially somebody who has been in Darren's position and has tried to, and I say that very cautiously, because the fact of the matter is that I have. Keep fighting for you. And whether it is one person or 15 people, you have to realize that that person in specifically wants nothing but the best for you and wants to see you happy. And look, it took me a long time to realize that, not only because of what I went through, but also because of what I went through with certain doctor's appointments, and certain things that I had to take in order to feel better. The fact of the matter is that the first go around with the medicine, it was terrible. I mean, I had nightmares like Darren did. I had a lot of certain things go on that were very, very much equivalent to Darren's deal that really messed with me. So just understand that no matter what you are going through, you are going to find a way out, and that things are going to be okay. You are going to realize that you are a lot stronger than what the darkness wants you to believe. And it's a very, very tough position. It really is. But it's a lot of things that are truly equivalent to life, is that it doesn't happen overnight. It is going to take time. It is going to take, it could take days, weeks, months, even years. But if you can believe in yourself and you can have that support system, like I do, I will tell you, and specifically, that you will make it out. And, you know, I was even, you know, in a abusive relationship. And the fact of the matter is that it took me a very, very long time to realize that, yeah, that's in the past now. Yes, it's changed me, but I know I can be better, and I know that I can beat it. And almost 7 years later to the date, I have found a way to forget about that moment in my life. The fact of the matter is that, yes, of course, I'm always going to live with the scars. But in specifically, you can still find the light at the end of the tunnel. And look, I wish Darren could have done that, because now his son is without a father in his life. And so that's really what I wanted to get into, is that as far as this Darren thing goes, at the end of the day, hope is not a strategy, but having faith and having hope is a hell of a thing. And to me, I truly believe that if we use that for the things that we have to deal with, we can truly find a way out of that darkness, and we can find a way to make each day better. And the thing is that, yeah, to some people, of course, it's going to sound silly. But when you truly look at it and you truly start to look back, I mean, I have a notebook that I write in every night of all the positives throughout my day. And I write it in every single night. And the thing is that when you start to look back and you start to truly open up and you start to read the pages of what you find throughout the day that is positive, you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so that is what I wanted to say. And the fact of the matter is that any kind of abuse is absolutely wrong in my book. Mental, physical, emotional. And look, I've had all three done to me. But the fact of the matter is that when I started to find the positives, I started to see truly just the beginning of how good life can be. And so if you can find one person in your life, and it can be something as silly as a pet, if you can find that, I truly hope for you that it helps you find the light at the end of the tunnel. And that in specifically, I hope it helps you find a way to beat whatever battle you are in, and I hope it helps you get to a point to where you do win that battle. And I truly mean that from the core of my heart. Alright, so let's finish up this pass. And we will get a save, and then on the other side of it, we will go ahead and we will get into this Caleb Williams report. So a little bit heavy there, but listen, sometimes you just got to roll with it. So, that's the deal. And I meant every last word of it. And I truly mean that. Alright, we'll go ahead, we'll let this dump, let's get a save, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Alright, so almost done here. We gotta wait on those silage bales to get done fermenting. Hay's ready to go. We're gonna have a ton of straw, so we'll be able to sell some straw. I know we gotta get a commodity shed place down so we can have a place to put our bales. I know TJ was thinking about getting some more land along with getting some other equipment as far as a second combine. So we'll see how that goes. I know we got a ton of work to get done at my place, so. But of course, after this episode, I do want to mention that we are going to go ahead and we are going to switch it up a little bit. We'll be back on one of the other playthroughs, and then we will go from there. As far as getting back here, getting into harvest season, and getting all the animals ready to go. As far as that goes. So, alright, so let's get into this Caleb Williams report. Now, as I said, it's a very simple take. There is knowing your worth, and then there is delusional. The optics of it is truly what I just don't like, quite frankly. Because this came out, ironically, after the Notre Dame game. And the thing is that it was a terrible performance. I do think they bounce back this week against Utah, but look, the optics of it, of the performance, in the Notre Dame game, throwing, I think it was like 3 picks, and then it really getting into this deal of now this report of wanting partial ownership of the team who drafts you. Not a good look, in my opinion. Okay, so let's get into this as well, because I think this is going to be really, really interesting. So, your next 3 games: Chargers, Raiders, Ravens. I'm looking at 2-1 for this next slate of games. But let's just go ahead and let's just put it on the table. And here's what I mean by that. What I mean by that, and specifically, if JG16, Jared Goff, shepherds this team to 7-2, are we now aligned in the fact of that it's time to pay the man? Because look, I think with the trade deadline coming up, I think with the bye week coming up, You've got the Monday night game against the Raiders where they're debuting the new helmet. Going into 24, you've got kind of the new reset of really what the jerseys are going to look like and all that. All of those variables put into this, are we now aligned in the fact of that it's time to pay the man? Because truly, I think it is. You're talking about 7-2 after the Charger game. I wasn't one of them, but I'll tell you this, there wasn't many people saying that. I know that. So let's have a conversation about it. And with that said, we will go ahead and we are going to get into some props. We're going to be adding these in along with the picks. We're going to see how this week goes. And then if we like it, we're going to continue to do it for you guys. So let's get to the props. Let's start out with Alex DeBrincat for the Red Wings. Man, does that signing look ridiculously good so far. Over, under 1.5 goals. For me, I'm going to take the over on this one. TJ is aligned, and TJ is going to be taking the over as well. Look, if you guys do want to participate, you guys are more than welcome to. Just leave your comment or leave your answers below. DeBrincat, over under 1.5 goals. TJ and I are both going over. Zay Flowers or Jamison Williams, more receiving yards. Or excuse me, more touchdowns. No, more touchdowns. Zay or JMO. TJ is going with Zay. I think I'm going to go with Zay as well. Because I do think JMO gets 1. I don't think he's going to get 2. Jahmyr Gibbs. Or Donovan Edwards. More rushing yards. TJ and I are both aligned on this one. We're going with Jahmyr Gibbs. JMO touchdowns. Over under 0.5. We're both aligned in this one. Over. We both believe he's going to get 1. Reynolds, receiving yards. Over under 51.5. TJ and I are split on this one. TJ is taking the under. I'm taking the over. MSU total points set at 10.5, or Wings goals. This is where I'm going to take a shot. Give me Wings goals, because if I'm talking about MSU, I am going to take the under on that 10.5. TJ is going to go with MSU points. That is your props for week 7. Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, I didn't check how many hay bales we made. I think we made like 94 or 93 silage bales, so I'll be excited to find out how many straw bales we make, because we got this field and then our oats over there, so that'll be interesting. And then I do think this one, or this field in specifically, we're going to change to sorghum the next time we plant it. So okay, well, let's also put a bow on the Michigan stuff, because here's the deal. And when you hear me talk about these situations, and specifically, I'm going to say this quite a bit. And it's funny because I just can't understand when people don't say this, let alone other hosts. But yippee. So here's the deal. This, well, you're wrong thing. Here's the deal. If you're saying it's nothing, then yeah, I would agree. Yes, you are wrong on that. But on top of that, furthermore, all this is accusations. So, as of right now. Now, the fact of the matter is that, to my knowledge, the evidence has not been dropped off. But, on top of that, if you're saying, well, there's something here, no, I cannot agree that you're wrong on that, because the fact of the matter is that if there was something Now, if this was nothing, and I mean nothing, then the picture of the guy, Connor Stallions, wouldn't have leaked out. B, it wouldn't be the biggest story in college football right now, and C, the guy wouldn't have been suspended. Period. The fact of the matter is that the truth is in the middle ground, as of right now, and until we find out what that evidence is, very, very simply, the truth lies in the middle ground. I mean, I don't think that's too hard to say, because the fact of the matter is that if something was done here, then eventually that information is going to leak out. And I say that because of everything leaks out in this day and age. If nothing else comes out about it, then obviously this was never a story to begin with. So, with that said, we are going to finish up this field here of our winter wheat. And then I think we are going to call it a afternoon here on the farm. I do think, though, that this field might suffice us for the winter when you start getting the cattle. Plus, I need to get my wheel hooked up as well. Been meaning to do that, to try it out for a stream, but have not had the time. Alrighty. Alright, so actually, yeah, I've got time. Alright. So like I said, we'll finish up this field and then we'll call it afternoon. But I think we're going to get into a little bit of a groove here. As far as Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All depends. I mean, it's not going to be every, Wednesday. I am going to try. I am going to try for that. But obviously, with everything I got going on, that's going to be a little bit tough. But in specifically, obviously, Monday and Friday are really the important days, in my opinion, regarding reactions, previews, etc. So that's just kind of that. But no, I mean, we're probably going to be taking care of that. And then more than likely, I am going to try to work in a Wednesday or a Thursday, and then just kind of go from there, see what happens, and then just really go from there. Because the fact of the matter is that we always have something to do on here, so that's kind of helpful. It's just I'm picky about, like, I usually don't like doing the same map 2 streams in a row. But obviously when it comes time for harvest season or whatever, obviously we might do that. But I mean it's I don't know. I'm weird about it. So, but we'll see. I mean, I think we kind of found a good pace so far, and I'd rather it be like that than it being just all over the board. As far as doing it one day and then doing it another day, and then, oh well, let's just stay on here and do this or whatever. No, I'm very, I don't know, I'm weird about it. So, it is what it is. But listen, I was checking out last stream and we've got like 30 or some views on that already, and it's like, huh? Like, freaking wild. But no, I mean, with obviously, all the views coming in, it's nice to see. And I usually try and not focus on the views as much. But I've been really just, I don't know, enamored with it lately, because it's like I went from like 6 on one to like 32 the next day, and I'm like, that's pretty good. But no, I mean, I like I said, I like doing this, so I enjoy it, and it gives me, like, honestly, this truly is my time away from the job. The only other thing is that what's funny is that I still talk about my job while I'm on here. I mean, it's truly, though, it's what I enjoy, man, and it's really the reason why I created this page, because I don't just want to do, hey, let's talk about Farming Simulator today. No, let's add in some other stuff. Not only that, plus it's football season, so, this is the prime of my job, and F it, make it fun. Let's talk about some certain things. Let's talk about the Lions. Let's talk about Michigan State's college football, etc. So, and look, I know it's not for everybody, but listen, that's what matters. And not only that, but I want it to be diverse. Like, I don't want it to be just this idea of, oh, well, hey, let's do farming today, or hey, let's just do football today. Like, no, let's just do both. But I will be quite honest with you, I do like jumping around a little bit more, as far as trucking, building, farming, all that kind of stuff. I like that a little bit more than the usual stuff. So and of course I forgot to turn on player speed. Oopsies. Plus, I'm still waiting to see what the hell TJ has planned to pick up the bales, because he said it's going to be something fun. So he said he wants me to put that on stream. The only problem is that I don't know what the hell we're going to do. So, if I knew what we were going to use, then, possibly, but, But the nice thing is this is a pretty big field, so, and then eventually, I think when we plant this into sorghum, we are going to get rid of that hay field there, and we're going to connect those two fields and make it even bigger. As far as that would be kind of nice, especially because we're going to need the chicken feed anyway. And I know Teej talked about a, grain cart at some point. I just don't know which one he's going to go with, so. But no, honestly, this has truly been a lot different than social media, because I've talked about this a few times already, but like I said, I started making videos on like social media and stuff, and this has been a whole lot different for me, because I'm so used to going on my phone and just hitting the live button or whatever, and 3, 2, 1, I'm already on. All of this has been totally different, but it's been a different experience, but man, has it been fun to honestly see how this goes, because the thing is like I said, I don't understand half of it regarding like the numbers and all that kind of stuff. I don't understand half of that. But still trying, But no, it's just been one of those things of, it's been a totally different type of feel for me as far as how this goes, because really of all of it, quite frankly, the deal of getting through as far as it all just being on my computer, and then being able to utilize my phone, being able to utilize all sorts of different things, has been quite the experience, to say the least. But it is absolutely, it's quite frankly, I find it relaxing. Like, yeah, I still got to talk about my job, and I still got to be, I still got to be me, but it's one of those things of like, this is truly taking me back to really how it started, of just having fun with it and not being completely, I don't know, stressed about it. Like, yeah, I'll admit there's times I do get stressed about it a little bit because of coming up with certain things to talk about and all that, but this I get to just escape and just have fun with it. And the thing is like, I don't really have any goals for this channel. It's really just been about have fun and really just be myself. Like, I'm not really looking for a certain goal or a certain, you know, type of success from it. I'm just enjoying it. But yeah, I mean, eventually, I mean, that may become something. But the thing is that I'd rather just have fun with it and not be, and not really treat this like another job, quite frankly. Like, I mean, eventually it may get to that point, but if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, for me, it's more about the fact of that, you know, I've tried this video thing for quite a while, and then I got burnt out on it, and obviously other things happened, but no, this has been something more for me that has been like a helpful tool to really just take a break from everything going on. And I know that's silly to say, but the thing is that I don't know, I enjoy it. I enjoy the hell out of it, and it's just one of those things for me is that, like, this is really just a hobby. Like this is just a hobby for me. It's not, like, it's all meant in good fun. It's just not, it's not meant to be that serious. Like, yeah, obviously we get into, you know, talks about the Lions and all that other stuff, and that's meant to be serious, but no, I mean, all in all, it's all just meant in good fun, and that's really what this channel comes down to for me. Because the thing is that, like I said, I don't just want people to just watch my stuff and it just be this deal of having people who like my stuff. No, I actually want to be able to create something bigger out of that, and be able to understand and truly get to know the people who are watching my stuff. And that was kind of the thing that really got me on the videos as far as social media goes, because for me it was the fact of that I just enjoyed being able to talk with the people who listen, being able to chat with the people who watch and really just mess around. I mean, and obviously, like I just said, get to know my listeners. Like, that's what I look forward to when I come on here and try to do this. Like that's really all it is for me. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll get this dumped. Oh, Lord, we're going to have to fill up the old combine here soon. And we will go ahead and we will get the wheat taken care of. We'll get this dumped in the chicken barn. And I think we will call it an afternoon for this one. So I don't know where we will be at on Monday. But what I will tell you is that primarily it will be one of our other playthroughs. Plus the other thing is that we have so many playthroughs that we have so many other ones that, like, sometimes we just neglect them. So we need to really take care of those, in essence, as well. So, but I'm sure we'll get that figured out because we'll be taking care of that on Monday. I don't know about this Wednesday. I know I've got a couple of things going on Monday, so the thing is, well, here's the thing of why I implemented Wednesdays as well. Every now and again, I have these super, super busy weeks, and there's a lot of times that I can't get on Monday, because by the time I do get on, I'm getting on at, damn near, 11:30 midnight. And then on top of that, that's not including having to do show prep for the next day and, all that. The thing is that I'm not a very good multitasker, so that wouldn't be very helpful for you guys. But no, I mean the thing is that I do have these busy weeks that do happen. So sometimes we can't always get on Mondays. So sometimes we do have to try for Wednesday. But as of right now, I am going to be looking at Monday. To give you guys a Week 7 reaction, and we'll talk about the game, we'll talk about the win or the loss, and then we can kind of just figure it out from there as far as what in the world we got going on, and then we'll go from there. But obviously, if I can't get on Monday, I will make a community post, which, guys, if you're not checking out the community tab, I'm posting over there a lot of different times. So, make sure you guys check it out, man, because when I'm not on, if I'm not posting certain things, as far as shorts or videos or whatever, which I'm going to get to the videos here in a minute, but those things, check out the community tab. Check out the community tab because I'm posting over there as many times as I can get. And so, when it does come down to it, there will obviously be certain times that I'm over there. There's certain times I'm going to be posting shorts, videos. The thing is that with the whatever it is that I use on my computer is set up for streaming, and the last time that I tried to record for a video did not go very well because it messed up my entire computer, and I mean it messed up like everything. So unfortunately videos have to be recorded from the phone. It just kind of is what it is from there because I prefer streaming because I can go longer anyway, and it gives me more of a chance to get notes done and get everything done that I do need to get for you guys